Hey guys, welcome back. If you guys want to see how I do this cute nail art design, stay for the video. So today is much different than what I have been showing you guys. I've been doing acrylic and gelic sets. Today we're doing a press-on set. So we are going to get into the nail art part of this press-on. Of course, I already prepped the press-on nails and they are ready for gel application. I'm starting with a light sheer nude and I'm going to be applying that to all 5 press-ons. And I don't know the name exactly, but on the video clearly you can see on the cap of the gel, you can see the number and the name. Once we apply the gel to all 5 nails, we are curing for a full 60 seconds. There was a little speck or something like that in my gel, so I'm just kind of taking that off. We always want to make sure there's nothing on the nail. And so speaking about curing for a full 60 seconds, there is a lot of flash curing while doing press-on nails, especially with nail art. But your base coats, you definitely always want to do a full 60 seconds. So now we're going in with our second coat. Nothing too fancy, nice and thin, not too thick. You want to make everything even and make sure you get all the corners and the sides and all that. Once we apply that to all 5 nails, we're going to put into the gel light and cure for a full 60 seconds. Once we've put that into our light, now we get to start with our nail art. I started off with bringing out all my colors, of course, and today we're going to be using some bright colors and some blacks and whites. I'm starting off with the base of my nail art, which on the pinky I'm going to be doing a French tip, and this is how I do my French tips. I start off with the A design, upside down A if you call it, and you want to make sure you bring that all the way up to give that deep French look, and then get the corners as well. That way when we go in with the bigger gel brush, we're only applying to the bigger empty areas, and we're using the liner brush to get the corners that are more smaller. Once you grab your gel brush from the bottle, make sure you wipe off the excess gel. You don't want to go in with too much gel. That leads for you to have bulkiness at the end of your nail. You've probably noticed a few nails sometimes look too bulky when you do nails or something like that. That could be because there's too much gel applied to the end. So I honestly didn't know exactly what I wanted to do today for our nail design. I know I did want to do some pumpkins and the little heart spiderweb thing, but I just didn't know what nails to do, like where to place the nail art. So it took me a while. I was kind of like thinking, okay, this will go here, that will go there. So finally I decided that I was gonna do a French tip. Was this on the thumb or the pointer? I have to look back and let you guys know. So I did go back. It is the pointer. So I ended up doing a French tip on the pointer and on the pinky. So these two nails were gonna be matching nails from what I was thinking at the moment. So we're just measuring them, making sure our deep French, we don't want like too deep or too low or too high when you're doing a French. You definitely want them matching. So here we are doing that same process. We do our upside down A, get in the corners with our liner brush, and then we go in with the gel brush with minimal gel. Always remember that. You don't want to add too much because then you get like that, I don't know, bulkiness at the end, and then it obviously messes with your shape. So don't waste your time in trying to fix shaping because of that mistake. With the liner brush, with what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to bring the gel to have an even layer. So with white, sometimes you'll notice little spottings and stuff like that, like I guess darker spots or where there's areas that the gel isn't the same applied, like the thickness. So you just want to go with your liner brush, even that all out, and then that'll help you fix that problem as well. On the ring finger, I decided to do a pumpkin, and I started off with our bright orange. This is not a neon orange, it's more of a pastel bright orange. I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't want to do neons because they are a little darker. I wanted to have like that brightness in there without having that darkness. That makes zero sense. Anyways, this is a very nice orange. When I'm doing nail art, I like to go back and forth on all my nails, whether if I'm doing press-ons, acrylic nails, or gel-X. I like to use that same color to avoid cleaning my brush. So I'll go through the nails and see what I can do while I'm working with that specific color. So I'm just kind of going back and forth doing the pumpkins, and then of course doing our little patch here on the middle finger. And then I'm gonna do the other pumpkin on the thumb while I still have the orange on my brush. I would say when you're filling a small, not big gap like this, like for instance this pumpkin, work with more product on your brush. I feel like when you go in very light, we're not really focused right now on lines, we're just focused on doing the base, which is the pumpkin. Once you work with lines and all that, then you could go in with less product on your brushes. And with nail art, even for the simplest nail art for French tips or anything like that, you always want to go in with the second coat, unless it's like a black, or even with black you want to do a second coat. But if that gel is very pigmented and you get a nice even layer on it, you don't have to worry about going in a second time. But because these colors that I'm using, obviously you could tell the difference from when I do add that second layer, it pops out even more. So these colors definitely needed that second coat, which when you're doing art, you just need to take your time, even if it takes a little longer, or if you have to wipe it off just like how I did. Wipe it off and just start over. Don't even worry about it. Just keep it moving and you'll get better and faster at your nail art once you start or stop concerning yourself with the smallest little things, like just starting over, just wiping it off. You could already tell the pop of color once we've added this second coat of orange. It makes a big difference and I'm loving it. So I went over our patch of orange. We're doing our pumpkins, and then on the French tips as well, we did second coats. And it doesn't really take that long, you guys. So just go ahead and do it, get it done, and then the art comes out perfect. I know doing the French tips aren't as exciting as doing pumpkins and patches, but it is very important that we get the French tips nice and crisp and super white and even. So originally I was gonna do an orange pumpkin with a pink pumpkin on top, but then I thought it'd be cute to do an orange pumpkin with like a pink lining rather than black lining on both of them, and it actually came out really cute. So I was very happy of thinking about that. And then now we're going in with our patch. I seen this little design on a few nail designs on Instagram, so I got the idea from there. Multiple different nail techs have done it, nothing too busy or too hard or anything like that. Very easy. You just have to do your layers and get nice even layers of gel so that way the colors don't seep through and all that. And we finished off our second pumpkin with the pink. I did go back because this line right here was way too thick and I just was not going to be able to let that go. And of course you want nice thin lines, and look how cute it came out. And I added an extra line and I ended up liking it, so I left it. I thought I took it off, but I guess I left it. It was cute. And now that we're done with our French tips almost, we are going to be adding our lines to make it look like that patchy look with the stitches. And you guys, I didn't edit out any of the mistakes. I added all the mistakes I did in this video because I wanted to see how realistically, when you do nail art, there's little mess ups and hiccups that you go through. And sometimes another person would look at it and say, that looks perfect, why would you even take it off? As a nail tech, as the artist, you know what you like and you know you have the vision. So even if it looks good, I take it off if it's not perfect and I fix it. It's really easy to fix. I'd rather fix it before I cure it. A tip when you're working with black gel and doing thin lines, of course you want that nice super pigmented black, but I suggest when you're doing thin lines with the black gel, you want to first do your outline, cure that even if it's a flash cure, and then you go in with the second coat. Because what we normally do is, because we want darker, we pack on more gel onto the brush. That leads to thicker lines. So it does add an extra step and it takes more time, but it comes out the way you want it. So now I decided that I wanted to give like a 3D effect, kind of looking like the black is the outline, but it has like a glow of pink almost. And I achieved that, but it took me a few times, as you guys are going to see here. I just kind of added some lines and played with it, seeing how the pink would flow under the black. And I did like it, but this line right here onto the right, I added too many lines. And so I just wiped it off real quick. Kind of just get that. I did look at it and I'm like, I don't know if I should, but I'm like, yes, take it off because I wasn't happy with it. And then I just added a few more lines just to fix that. And that looks much, much better. The smallest little fix made the whole nail look 100 times better. So I decided to go with the simple trunk on the pumpkin. Nothing too fancy, just a black. And then once we had flash cured our black lines, I went in again, nice and thin, a little bit of product on my brush. And then of course my lines are ready to add our little stitching. Sometimes I do the stitching right after I do the lines, But I have noticed that they kind of bleed through and it doesn't give you like that nice patchy look. So I would say flash cure between your lines and your patchy work, and then that'll come out better. I had accidentally got black on this nail, so we just wiped it off really quick. And then I'm gonna be doing the same thing to this pumpkin, just doing our outline, figuring out where the black would go best, and then adding our little trunk. Those came out very cute. So now we're going back to our patch nail, and we're gonna be doing a second coat on our pink to bring out that brightness and just to have that even color, because the pink is a little opaque. That second coat is gonna give a nice solid color. Once we've applied our gel colors for our nail art, we are going to cure again for 60 seconds. I have been curing in between about 10 to 15 seconds between the nail art, but when it's a bigger patch, trying to make a solid color, we do want to do at least 45 to 60 seconds. You guys, I have been loving these stars. They're so cute, and when you put them together like this, side by side, it just looks like a little glare, kind of like in the sky, just real shiny and cute. So we're just doing two bigger stars and adding, of course, the smallest little dots onto the side, kind of giving it more of a glare, not really stars, but like of a glare look. And I'm doing that on both of the pumpkin nails. I decided just to do it on those two because I didn't feel like it would go good on the other ones. I didn't want to overdo it and just kind of like, I wanted it to focus on the pumpkins just to make it look like glammy and glitzy. I honestly didn't have a design picked out for this nail. I just was going to do the black line patchwork. But then I thought of adding the little cute patch, and it actually looked very cute. I had to get a little bit more black onto my palette. I was running low. So now that my patch nail, the colors are pigmented and evenly placed, I'm just gonna go in with thin lines to start off my patches, flash cure, and then add my little patch lines to give it that patchy look. I was about to add the same little patch design onto this nail just with the pink, but then I thought, wouldn't it be cute to make a heart and see how that comes out? Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to come out nice, but I tried it and look what I get for trying. It came out super cute. And then, of course, we're gonna add the line work, and then it's gonna look like a heart patch. That little heart patch was just the cherry on top for me. And right before I finished, I had decided, wouldn't it look cute as well if I added a little bit of shading? I'm so extra, you guys, but I added some shading and I thought that looked super cute. So then I decided, okay, let me add some more shading onto these little patches and see how it comes out. And it did a difference. It just made the patches kind of pop out. It looked like it's like a 3D patch rather than just flat on the nail. So then here I am thinking more, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cute to add it onto the pumpkin? Oh my goodness. And so I added some on the pumpkin. I did go back and forth because I was kind of trying to see like where it looked good. So of course I wiped that off and I redid it, and somehow I kind of got some good angles and I really liked them. I just feel like it gave that like glow but darkness to it. So shading does really make a difference when you're doing nail art. It doesn't always have to have shading, but add it where it's needed. I was very happy with the overall look. I cured that for a full 60 seconds and then I decided that we were gonna go matte. So originally we were gonna do glossy, of course. I like glossy. I would prefer glossy over matte, but matte does make nail art stand out, and because I'm not going to wear these. I decided to do matte, and it did make a big difference, you guys. Like, the nail art just kind of stuck out and looked very nice, and the shading also sticks out a lot when you do a matte top coat. This one is the Koopa one, and it is my favorite. It's very thin. The consistency isn't thick like others, and it stays matte for a very long time. We're down to the last nail of applying our matte top coat. I want to thank you guys, if you guys are still with me here, for watching the video. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I'll see you guys next time.